Hey, I'm Scott with Revolution Modern Martial Arts, our new series, The Parenting Matrix. And what we're going to be talking about, this series is about parenting better and having better interactions at home, making things at home easier for you as a parent. And I have the luxury of working with kids all the time in my martial arts school and been doing it for over a quarter of a century now. So I have an opportunity to take all these things and work on them over and over and over again to refine them and then give them to you. So we're talking about today improving interactions with your kids to avoid power struggles. And power struggles are the things such as you ask Johnny to get ready for bed and he either outright says no, talks back, shuffles his feet, isn't doing the things you want him to do. So we have to understand as adults, we do have an impact, number one, in changing this behavior. We also have an impact on the creation of this behavior, and that's what this next four-part series is going to talk about. So studies of social psychology and social interaction have shown a number of different things, and what we're going to talk about today is the state that you adopt when you work with your kid. And there's variations of the term state. If you're in sales, you'll hear about getting in a good state, a hyper state, ready to do what you have to do. But state is kind of the mood that you have and the way you present yourself. In the case of what we're talking about today, we generally, all human beings are going to float between three different states. The first one is the parenting or parent state, there's the adult state, and the child state. No matter, you might not be a parent right now, but you are going to be in the parenting state at some point throughout your day. So the parent state is the state that you're going to have when you're having authority and you're taking care of somebody else or you're leading somebody else. So if you're a manager at a business, when you're directing your employees, you're in the parent state at that point. Your tone of voice and your authority is coming through if you're doing it correctly, and you're now directing people, much like a parent directs a child. The adult state is the neutral state where you're listening, being passive. A lot of times when you are, if you're in the parenting state with somebody, they're in the neutral state a lot of the time because they're accepting what you're giving them as far as direction. And finally, there's the child state. The child state being happy, mostly happy, but emotional. Whenever you get emotional, you're in the child state. And if you think about it, whenever an adult labels another adult as acting childish, it's because they're being overly emotional, either overly angry or overly happy. So the child state is that state of being in emotion, right? Now, if you're an adult, you spend most of your time in the adult state, and if you're a child, guess what? You're spending most of your time in the child state. But even children can be in that parenting state when they're directing their peers or maybe younger siblings. So what we're going to be doing is using these states effectively when we work with our kids, because if we have one state dominate the interaction, if every time we interact with our child, there's a majority of us being in one state, we're going to get different results. And a lot of parents create these power struggles because they're constantly in the parenting state. And it's that nagging state, constantly critiquing, and you don't mean to be doing it, but if you're in a state too much, the child will now start to push back. So we're going to talk about different strategies on how to work with these throughout the day, throughout your week, to make your interactions that you're having with your child much easier. And this is something that we use at our karate school all the time through a connection and redirect principle that you'll learn over the next couple of videos. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Look forward for our next videos in this playlist. Try these things out at home. And I'm curious, if you wouldn't mind, drop in the comments box, take an inventory, think about how you interact with your kids throughout the week, and drop us a comment about which state you think that you are in most of the time. And that feedback will be helpful for all of us and for yourself, so you can realize that if you're dominating in one state, that's what you're doing. So anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Like, share, and contribute, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.